What's going on, everybody? My name is Jacob Adams.
I am Caden Sledge,
This is Word in the World. Caden, what you got?
and I say this every podcast, but man, we're blessed to be here. This podcast is going to be virtual. So, on my part, if I freeze up, you know why. My Wi Fi is kind of, guess you could say trash. It's not the best out there. But it is virtual, but we are always blessed to get something out to you guys. Me and Jacob are blessed to be talking to each other, to get content out to you guys and tell you about what is going on in our world today. What about you, Jacob? How are you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, Caden. I think I kind of want to talk about some football today.
I am feeling kind of talking about all sorts of football, to college to high school. So I'm definitely excited about that. Me and Jacob have rounded up a lot of stuff to go over today, and I will be ending off with a lesson. So, in all, this will be a great podcast. Those of you that are on here, thank you for watching this today. Just like I said, blessed to get this out to you guys. So, Jacob, let's start with whatever. I'm going to give you the mic.
Cool, definitely. So if you see me looking over this way, I'm looking at my laptop for my information. You won't really see me because it's going to be blurry, and I'll have the screenshots posted on here so you can read it with me. I want to start off with college football. Roll Tide. You know, I'm a huge Alabama fan. So we are having the Alabama versus Florida SEC championship this weekend at 7 o'clock Central. It is going to be one heck of a game. To me, if it were up to me, you know, this year I would give Mac Jones, Najee Harris, and Devontae Smith all the Heisman trophies. I mean,
Oh,
they
yeah,
have
yeah,
had
yeah.
a terrific season. Right here on FoxNews.com, it says Mac Jones, Najee Harris, and Devontae Smith have all had terrific seasons in 2020. Jones and Smith are also Heisman Trophy contenders in their own right. Jones has 3,321 passing yards with 27 touchdowns passes this season. Smith has 83 catches for 1,327 yards and 15 touchdown catches. Harris leads Alabama with 1,084 rushing yards and 22 touchdowns. That's a lot for a college
That
player.
is a lot.
That is a
Oh,
lot for a
yeah.
college player. You know, if I was an NFL team, if I was any NFL team, I would be looking at those three players right now.
Yeah, definitely. Those three players are always stars in the games. You see a lot of plays going to them, going to scores and all of the above, especially Mac Jones. And actually, Jacob, I don't even know if Jacob knows this, but you guys, former player Keaton Anderson, he knows about this, but Keaton Anderson played for Alabama, and we were really close to him. He was actually playing at our home team, high school team, Florence, and went on to play at Alabama and actually was good buddies with Mac Jones. So I actually got a couple times of hanging out with Mac Jones. I've actually never told Jacob that, but I just wanted to mention that. So I actually have met Mac Jones, hung out with Mac Jones, and so that is pretty cool. But like Jacob said, star players and NFL teams should definitely be looking at these three.
Definitely. Well, enough about Alabama because, you know, I could sit there and talk about Alabama all
Oh,
day.
yeah, we could go on and
You
on and
know,
on.
I might be just a little biased about Alabama. Roll Tide. But, anyways, I'm going to talk about my, I guess you could say, arch enemy, Auburn. We have some breaking news. Gus Malzahn has been fired. He was fired on
He
December
has, he
13th.
has.
Sports Center has it posted on their their Twitter page at 11:26 a.m. December 13th, 2020 that coach Gus Malzahn, the school announced is he is fired. Now coach Gus Malzahn tweeted and he wrote a letter to the Auburn family, and in that letter it said, "I'm incredibly thankful to have the opportunity to coach at Auburn for 11 years, including the last 8 as head coach. It was a true honor to lead the program." And he went on to talk about his personal lives with his wife and his daughter, and his personal lives with his players, and he just really wanted to represent Auburn, and I think that's what he did. You know, a lot of coaches, they will get fired from their jobs, and they won't, and they'll have a little bit of I'm sorry here and there, but to sit down and write a letter and sign the letter, I will give straight kudos to Gus Malzahn for doing that.
Yeah, it's definitely sad. Gus, me and Jacob, I like Auburn, not the biggest fan, but it was definitely sad to see him go. He was just all around a great guy. He was a great coach. There was some times, in this season, that there's some losses, wins all around, and it's just sad for everybody to see him go. He was a great guy. He was great at what he did. Um, he won the game against Mississippi State, and if you guys follow, you can actually go look right now. If you follow Auburn football on Instagram, they posted a video of him dancing with his team, and that's something that I love seeing. Just coaches celebrating with their team, having a bonding relationship with their team, and just all around great to see. And that was so sad for the team to wake up the next morning seeing that their head coach is now fired and will not be with them next season. It was just, a bunch of the players were down about it. Like Jacob said, the note that Gus sent out was amazing. And it's just all around to see him go is just really, really sad. And, like I said, celebrating with the team and then him going to sleep. Okay, happy. I just won against this team. It is great. I think I just got my job back. He is now gone. And it is just all around sad to see that, but stuff happens. Man, he got a lot of money, so we're just going to see what the next step he takes. But just like I said, it is very sad to see him go.
Definitely. I'm going to keep it in the Auburn family, and I'm going to talk about the Auburn High School versus Thompson game. Wow, what a game!
Wow, man, dude, oh my gosh.
You are seeing it on the screen right now, or you're seeing clips of it. I'm not going to be able to show the whole thing, but it's the 7A championships, and it was Auburn High School versus Thompson High School. In the beginning, the Thompson players, it was a minute and 8 seconds left, and the Thompson players were hugging each other. They were crying on the field. They were getting ready to lose the game. Um, but the Auburn coach decided to keep taking knees and did not run the ball or throw the ball even for another 6 points. So when they got back down to punt, Thompson blocked and recovered the punt and ran it back for 6. So when they got that, they did an onside kick, and the Auburn coach did not have as many players as we all thought he would on the 50-yard line. There was, I think it was 6 guys versus 2 of where that kicker would have kicked it at. And of course, they crossed the 50-yard line and Thompson recovered it. Well, it went on to, they gave up 30 yards to penalties, and that last penalty put him in field goal range on the 35-yard line. And the kicker at Thompson, his highest was 40 yards. So he was kind of getting ready for it. And, that kind of brought me back when I was watching that to the Ted Borden kick for Florence versus Mountain Brook.
Yeah.
We were all on our toes. It was dead silent in our stadium. And he kicked that, and we won against Mountain Brook. But seriously, this guy had everything on his shoulders. This guy had the championship game on his shoulders, and he kicked, and they scored the 3, and they won by 1 point.
It was definitely an amazing game. All the pressure was put onto his back. Everything, just like Jacob taking it back to Ted Borden kick at the Florence High School game. It was amazing. It was dead silent. As you guys know, I'm the voice of the Falcons. I do broadcasting, and we were up. Me and my buddy were sitting up there, and it was like if you dropped a quarter, you could have heard it.
On the field,
So it was
on the grass field.
on the grass, on the turf. If you would have dropped it, it would have been like, and everybody could have heard it. It was just amazing, and I know with that Thompson Auburn game, everything was on his shoulders, and he took it to a good place. So, past high school and keeping it in the high school, let's take it to our home high school, Florence. We had some sad news pass recently. Coach Will Hester will be leaving and going back to Ravenwood. It was some sad news. We've mentioned Riggs Hester on here is a good friend of me and Jacob's, and it's sad to see the Hesters leave. I have an article right here. Will Hester, who led Ravenwood football to Class 6A state championship in 2015, is returning to Williamson County School. Um, Coach Hester arrived and had our program going in a good direction. And, in my mind, and I know in Jacob's mind, Jacob, do you even think they were leaving? Like, did you think they were ever going to leave?
I really didn't. I talked to Coach Hester. I mean, I talk to Coach Hester every day. I see him in the hallways. I say, "Hey, Coach Hester." We sit there. We'd have a conversation a couple times. I felt like when Coach Hester came, it was my 8th grade year, and the minute I met Coach Hester, I felt like um that he didn't even have to be welcomed into the family because he was already in it. He's a great coach.
Yes, he is very, very great coach right here. It says Hester spent the past 3 seasons at Florence High School in Alabama. Falcons went 16-16 during that time. Florence finished 4-5 this season with 2 forfeit losses and a forfeit win due to COVID-19 and cancellations. His best season came in 2019 when Florence went 7-5, losing the Class 7A state championship Thompson 38-31 in the second round of playoffs. Coach Hester said, to me, it is not necessarily just about coming back to Ravenwood, said Hester, of course, who is 57-50, including 42-13 at 2 Williamson County stops. We consider that home. It's basically coming back for us. It's like when I got the job the first, he said. We used to hang out on that field where the school is. We used to hunt rabbits there. Our parents still live across the street. To have this opportunity for my family to come back to this area is a blessing. So, of course, with that part, it's just amazing. He has gone back to where, of course, where their original family was. And I know they are very, very excited. I know there's some sadness into that because, of course, me and Jacob's buddy, Riggs Hester, I hate to see him leave. That is a good friend of mine, and it's like losing a brother. But just Hester leaving the program, I don't know what's going to happen next in our program. Definitely sad to leave. I know I'll be going to Nashville a lot to see him, but just all around, it is very, very sad to see the Hesters leaving Florence. But we wish the best for them back at Ravenwood, and we're going to see the next steps that we take here in Florence.
Definitely. That's all I got for football today. Caden, would you like to start on your message?
Yes, so guys, I made this message. Background about this is actually I was in a hunting stand one morning, just watching for deer, and decided that I haven't gave a good brief lesson on here in a good bit, so I decided to write this down. I'm gonna pull this up. It is actually a lesson that is the main point is when it hurts, keep fighting. So, guys, if you have a pen and paper, I would recommend you getting that to write some of this stuff down because some of this stuff is going to hit right in your heart and definitely does me. So, let's go ahead and get started. Of course, when it hurts, keep fighting. There's so many people in our world today who tell themselves that they are not good enough and also tell themselves that they don't deserve to be where their feet are in this moment. Why do people think this? People out there telling themselves that they are not perfect. You are perfect 100% in your own way, guys. There's no doubt about it that in your own way, you are 100% perfect. Every single one of you have that bright future, but the only way to get there is to fight when it hurts. Do not give up. There's going to be struggles every day of your life, and you just got to get used to that because the only way to get through that is to fight. Don't bring yourself down. Don't let others bring you down because all it comes down to is to love yourself. You have to have self-love. Because, people I'm asking, like, why can't you keep fighting? You have to have self-love, and that's what leads to this. You can, but you choose not to. If you have the will to fight to the best of your ability, you are going to make a change and you're going to end up in the good. Last thing you need to even think of is taking yourself out of this world. That's the hardest thing. There's so many people out there that love you guys. You have to remember that this isn't about you. You've got to remember all the people that love you. have done nothing. You bring it down to the divorce of, many teens out there. Parents have divorce, and it's hard on them, but they blame their self. Cannot not let any people defeat you. You've got to keep fighting. Love yourself and fight to the end. Just basically what you just like I said in the divorce. Me myself, my parents are divorced, and there was a moment in time where I was in a place where I thought I was not going to get farther anymore, and I blamed it on myself. And I was sad, and I took it out on Jacob, like I mentioned in another podcast. I took it out on so many people, and I realized today that I shouldn't have done that. And I just wish I could go back and take that back and not do that, because right now I do not do that anymore. I have now overcome stuff because, everything in the end ends for the better. And that's just something you've got to remember. So, right now, in this time, if you have your Bible, please grab that. If it's not close, we're going to go ahead and put this on the screen for you. But this right here, Micah 7, verse 8, is rejoice not over me, O my enemy. When I fall, I shall rise. I sit in the darkness, the Lord will be a light to me. So what I want you to get out of that is you've got to keep fighting. The Lord will be the light for you. Like I've repeated this, 35 times, but when it hurts, guys, you've got to keep fighting. Because if you don't, you're going to end up in the wrong. You're going to go down the wrong path. Then you're going to get in that mind that you should take yourself out, and that is not the way to go.
That's right.
Got to go around the right path, the better. Because just like I said, I know me and Jacob know this both, that everything in the end works out for the better. So just please remember, write this down somewhere and put it on your wall or in your binder for school. When it hurts, keep fighting. Love you all, and thank you. And that was, I wrote that down in the stand, and it just hits. Even to me, Jacob, it hits hard. I don't know if it does the same to you.
It does. It's a great message. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of when we write these messages, it takes it, it takes a lot. It's hard, I can't just think about something. Now, if you want me to, I can't be forced into writing a message. I have to sit there and I have to think about something, and once I find the solution to it, the solution is really always in the Bible. The Bible always has something, or it always has a solution to your problems. And, I'm looking at my notebook right now. I have 2 messages, about to have 3 messages, because I'm not finished with my Christmas message that I'm going to give. Stay tuned for that, Christmas Eve, Thursday. Next Thursday, I believe it's next Thursday. Is Christmas Eve
Next Thursday,
Yep. Okay, so I guess
it sure is.
on that. Anyway, squirrel. I guess there's a couple messages that I have that I'm going to wait till season 2 to share. That's really good. And yes, there will be season 2 after Christmas. We're gonna cut off season 1. Season 1 was our startup. At season 2, we're probably gonna hit it harder. And there's a lot of things that I'm thinking about right now. That's gonna make season 2 where it's at. There's a COVID vaccine now. One of my
I saw that today.
I mean, my guy that works at Huntsville Hospital, he got it today. He got the COVID vaccine today. Does it work? If he gets COVID, I guess it doesn't. But I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see if it works or not. But there's a COVID vaccine. Essential workers are going to get it first, of course. And I don't think it'll be out to the general public until June or July. But with that COVID vaccine, you don't have to wear a mask anymore. And it's going to be a lot easier for us to come in having person podcasts, which I love person podcasts a lot more than I do virtual. See what you're seeing
It's
now.
virtual.
The virtual podcast, I have to sit there and sync Caden with his audio. So what I have my microphone audio going into my computer and his audio going into my computer, but his face is also going into my computer, but the internet quality isn't 100% on point. So Caden's face is about a second and a half behind his audio. So I have to go through there and sync it. Now you're going to see in some points where Caden just freezes up and I can't do nothing. But I'm going to have to go in there and sync it. So definitely in-person podcast will help me out a lot more. So it'll be a lot better for season 2, but that's really all I got.
And yeah, I do love in-person podcasts a lot more. Like being, Jacob right there beside me. It is so much easier. Like on my part right now, I cannot see Jacob.
Yeah.
I cannot. I have a picture of him, but I cannot see him.
Yeah, he can see
So
me
like I
in the
said,
bass guitar. There's my profile picture.
yeah.
We use Discord. Discord was the easiest way that we could talk to each other and let me video him while I'm talking. So Discord was our option. We had Zoom. In the Scott Matthew episode, we used Zoom, and that was really good. But I just found that Discord's easier for OBS to stream and for everything else to happen like that. So, but while we do that, he cannot see me.
So just like I'll say in-person podcasts are going to be so much easier. What I'm leading to and really want to make happen is get guests actually in an in-person podcast. That's one big goal of mine to get on the podcast for y'all is a guest, but in person. Because, we had Scott Matthew on.
Team.
Yeah, I'd love to get the team on. As you saw in Scott Matthew, like Jacob said, we had to do Zoom. But I'd like to get some guests, just like the team, on in a video in person. That is one thing I can't wait to do is for you to meet our wonderful team. But yeah, that is really all I got.
That's all I got. Caden,
Guys, we really
world info.
Oh yeah, word in the world info. Let's cut to that right now, guys. Word in the world info. I repeat this every time. In every podcast, every live, we do a segment, Word in the World Info with Caden Sledge. That's me. But one thing I like to mention is our Instagram. Instagram is our one social place that you guys that are following know first when a podcast comes out. So I have already posted when this will come out. So you guys that are following us, you guys know first. Word in the World Info. We have a lot. That is posted right now
about us recording.
So we've done a lot of lives. Wanted to remind y'all that me and Jacob have school just like you kids, teenagers out there. We have school too. I'm virtual, but I also have to sit at a desk for hours each day getting cut up all on my work. So it is just yeah, it is not, and it's just so tough, especially I cannot get to Jacob to go record in person, and it's hard to get on here to do a virtual for you guys. But guys, you just got to stick with us. We're trying our best to get content out for you guys. So I was blessed to have the time to get this one in to post Thursday, and I cannot wait to get another podcast out. I'm trying to get, just like Jacob was mentioned earlier, season 1 was our first. But season 2 is going to hit it off where we are going to be rapid fire. There will be lives because I like doing lives, but there are going to be many more podcasts. So I just want you guys to stick with us because season 2 is going to be great. That is all I got for the Word in the World info today. Jacob, if you have anything to add on.
Nope, that's all I got.
Well, guys, we are blessed. We were blessed to be able to do this. And that is all we got. Talked about some football. Had a great message in. There was some stuff. Oh, before we end off, I forgot to add this in the football part. Carson Castile plays for Florence High School, and he is going to Michigan State. And Nealon Hibbett plays for Florence High School, and he is going to Alabama. Amen. So roll tide on that part.
Michigan State.
Roll tide.
Roll tide.
I know Carson Castile very, very well, so I will be watching some Michigan State games. But roll tide for Nealon Hibbett, man. I'm so proud for him. But I forgot to add that in earlier. That is all we got today, guys. Thank you for joining us. Remember to always stay humble and kind. We love you guys, and we, guys, will see you next week.